Let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be.
Falcon fans everywhere, ATL Falcon fans, welcome to the Falcon Saints post-game show with your host T-Will on for my ATL Sports 1. And hey, welcome everybody. Season is over. Falcons pull out a game. I don't know that you would call it a pretty victory at all. It was kind of hard to watch at times, but hey, you know what I mean? Good teams have to win pretty and ugly games as well. So Falcons pulled this one out. Take a breath. Like I said, this wasn't pretty. This wasn't dominant, but it was a win. And in this rivalry, wins matter. Atlanta handled business against New Orleans, and tonight wasn't about style points. It was about control, composure, and finally not beating ourselves against the Saints. And I think that we did an admirable job of doing that again. Game wasn't pretty, but we were able to get it done. Thank God for that. Let's talk about the state of this Falcons franchise, right? This game tells us that where the Falcons are right now, they're not contenders yet. They're not pushovers either. This is a team learning how to close, learning how to survive division games, and learning how to win when things aren't perfect. The Falcons are still figuring out who they are, but they are making progress. So I'd like to say that. We got Wallace Smith in the building tonight. Wallace says, "What's good with you, T-Will? What's going on, Mr. Wallace? How you doing?" We got Silk Legacy in the building. Silk says, "What up, T-Will? Yeek, get some. Get some indeed, my brother. Hopefully all is well with you, sir. And hey, just happy to be here with you guys tonight. Let's talk about these Falcons versus Saints. And first and foremost, the tape doesn't lie. If my mother were here, she would correct me. Tape don't lie. It's tape doesn't lie, T-Will. English matters. Okay? I know, Mom. When you turn on the tape, to me, three things jump out. One, Falcons did play patient football. They played a little conservative. I think they knew this was going to be a tough division battle versus these Saints. And, they kind of grabbed a lead and hung on for dear life is pretty much what they did. Second, they did stay committed to balance. They tried to run. They tried to pass. Offense wasn't great in this one, but defense did hold up their end of the bargain, and offense did just enough to win. So that's a good thing. And, third, again, the defense forced the Saints to get everything. They made the Saints earn it. And, hey, Falcons close out the victory 19-17. It really wasn't that close. But, Saints get a last-minute touchdown, and then, of course, they kick the onside kick. And we get it, and we win the game. So tremendous, tremendous, tremendous game. Let's talk about these Falcons. And let's talk about what happened in this game. So first and foremost, guys, we had a blocked punt. Are you serious? We had a blocked punt. And by the way, Silk Legacy says, "Did you see Drake go off on TJ?" I did not see that. I did not see that. So if you have any news about it, Silk, drop it in the chat. I didn't see that. Obviously, I'm assuming this happened during the game, but no, I did not see him go off on TJ Yates. But hey, maybe that's been brewing, you know. This success hasn't been. I know he got frustrated. I saw him slam his helmet, but I didn't necessarily see him go off. We got DSGB Hall in the building. What up, DSGB? DSGB says a little too late, typically Falcon fashion, and I agree with that. Silk Legacy says the video is going around. Well, Silk, by all means, please feel free to share it. You have my info, sir. Share it with your boy. Let us know. But yeah, man, let's talk about these Falcons. So this defense, I gotta say, kind of won us the game, or at least kept us in it. They did get they got a fumble on. As a matter of fact, on the first drive of the Saints, we did get the ball back. We didn't score, but it kept them from scoring. And the other thing is, we blocked a punt today. Can you believe it? We blocked the punt, got the ball on the 10-yard line, and I believe that was the lone touchdown that the offense scored. So again, the offense was pretty much held in check today. But hey, thank God, I guess special team bailed us out today. So special teams helped. Defense was great. And again, really good game. We did have consistent pressure. Defense consistently pressured rookie Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck, recording multiple sacks and not allowing many big plays through the air until the final minutes of the game. And speaking of sacks, the Atlanta Falcons, your Atlanta Falcons, actually broke the single season sack record, I believe with 57 or 58 or something like that. But guys, at the beginning of the season, if I would have told you the Falcons would get 57 or 58 sacks or however many, what would you guys have said? Would you guys have been like, T. Will, I don't know what you're smoking, but it's pretty good. I don't know what's in that drink. Or would you have believed me? I wouldn't have believed myself if I said the Falcons would get 57 sacks. So that is great. DSGB Hall says we can never have both at the same time. Good defense, bad offense, or bad offense, good defense. You know what I mean? You never got two things that match. Ham, no burger. You know what I mean? I'm with you, DSGB. DSGB says them rookies, fire. Fire. Wallace Smith says they finished with 57 sacks. Hey, man, I just need y'all to just think about that for a minute. 57 sacks, dude. 57 sacks. That is incredible. That's incredible. I mean, wow, man. That's what a feat. How about Team Glow, man? I mean, coming up with that interception. Are you kidding me? Stepping in front of that route. Are you kidding me? D Alford sealed the win, right? They throw I think it's either it looks like it was an in cut or an out or something, but they kept running the same play. D Alford steps in front of him and he is gone. And when I see that, I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Because I'm nervous at this point. Saints are going to go down. They're going to score. You know what I mean? I think at the time it's 16-10. So if they score, they're up by 1 point. And I'm getting nervous and I'm saying a few choice words I shouldn't say and, getting some anxiety. And D. Alford says, no problem, T. Will. Steps in front of that pass and takes it back to like the 20-yard line, 30-yard, whatever he took it back. But phenomenal play by D. Alford. It was definitely when we need it. And hey, man, game ball to D. Alford. Great play. Wallace Smith says they broke the record of 55 sacks as a team. Yes, they did, Wallace. Super proud of them. Guys, also, how about JPJ, right? 10.5 sacks this year. So to all of you guys who are like, oh, the Falcons don't have a number 1 pick for next year. We shouldn't have traded it to the Rams. And this is terrible. And it's the same old Falcons. Be quiet. Stop talking. To quote the Rams, F those picks. This man got 10.5 sacks. 10. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 and a half. 10 and a hook. 10 and a possible if we're playing spades. 10 and a hook. Damn near Boston. Okay. 10 and a half sacks. Are you kidding me? And some of you guys were like, oh, if we only wouldn't have traded the pick for him, we'd have a number one pick next year. Where are you guys now? Where are you guys now? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a superstar that just joined us. Oh my goodness. If I had a machine to go on, an applause machine, I'd use it, but I don't. Miss Carrie, baby. Wait,
Hello.
there we go.
Hey,
Miss
Tua.
Carrie,
How you
baby is
doing?
in the building. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Miss Carrie, I'm sending you a virtual hug. So, for those of you who watch the show or watch the channel, Miss Carrie and I have a show called The Terry and Carrie Show, and we've been kind of out of action because it's been the holidays. All right. And, guys, to Miss Carrie's credit, she was like, T, well, I apologize for missing the show. And I was like, Miss Carrie, don't worry about it. We do the show when we do the show, damn it. Okay. We don't do it every day. And we don't do it every week because we don't have to. A, we're not getting paid for this. And B, we don't have to. But Miss Carrie, I'm so happy to have you on the show tonight. Let us talk about these Falcons. Oh my God. What we're talking about right now, Miss Carrie, is JPJ and the 10 and a half sacks and the Yahoos who were like, if you wouldn't have made the pick, if you wouldn't have traded the pick for him, we'd have a pick next year. Okay. And you know what I say, Miss Carrie? F those picks. Let's talk about JPJ and the impact that he has had on our beloved Atlanta Falcons. Miss Carrie, please give me your thoughts.
I mean, I am so happy we made that trade because we got James Pierce Jr., we got Xavier Watts. I think Watts finished the season with 5 interceptions. JPJ finished the season with 10.5 sacks, which that is our first time having a double digit sack leader on the team since 2016, which is crazy. It's been a very long time, literally 10 years. So, I mean, and for him to do that in his rookie year, that's really rare. You know, a lot of pass rushers, that's a position that takes time to develop. So most of the time, pass rushers don't get double digit sacks their first year. So, um, I I'm really happy. Definitely am so happy. Like you said, F the pick. We got our guy, and I'm really excited heading into the future for the pass rush. What a turnaround! We broke the franchise record for
We
sacks
broke
today.
the
I
franchise
mean,
record. Yes, we did, Miss Carrie. Dag
what a
it.
turnaround! What a turnaround! Shout out to Nate Ali, um, defensive line coach. I'm so happy, you know, we got him from the Houston Texans. He's completely turned around our D line, and yeah, JPJ's part of the reason. Brandon Dorless, which sucks that, you know, he got injured last week, but thankfully, I guess I was about to say thankfully it doesn't seem as bad as it's like we thought it would, but you never know actually with our Falcons in regards to injuries, actually, you know, because yeah, you never know what they could say that they're not hurt, and then they could have a broken collarbone or something. You never know. So
First and foremost, a round of applause for our 57 sacks. Yes, a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes,
that's
yes.
actually crazy to say out loud. And you know what's to your point, T Will?
Yep.
I remember in the off season you were like saying, "Yeah, I think we'll have like 50 sacks," and I'm just like, "What?" Like I thought you were a crazy man.
you, were, you were thinking to yourself, he's high.
Yeah,
What
I
the hell is
mean, I'm
wrong with
like,
him?
T
He's
Will, I
high.
think we're gonna win the division, but
He's
50 or more sacks, I don't
he's
know about
high.
that.
I don't know what he had, but it is really good because wow. Hey man, JPJ says, I'm sorry, J Black says JPJ is a monster.
He
You
really
know who the
is.
Monstars are, right, Carrie? From oh, the film with Michael Jordan. I,
Oh,
I believe I can Space
yeah.
Jam, right? We're the mean
Yes,
team. He says
a
he,
classic.
he says JPJ is a monster. You're not gonna get by him. DSGB Hall says Terry Carey. Hey man. Jay Black says Happy New Year to me and Happy New Year to you.
Happy
Wallace
New
Smith
Year.
says, that's right. Happy New Year, JPJ. I'm sorry.
What?
Happy New Year to you too, JPJ. I got JPJ on the brain. Happy New Year, Jay Black. Wallace says, that's right. F those picks because they got the player they wanted that made a big impact on the defense this year. And that is so true and super excited about it, man. Kerry, this game was not pretty. Okay, this game was not pretty at all, but sometimes you got to win ugly games, and the Falcons definitely came to play today. There's some crucial plays that they made. Number one, D. Alford with that interception, stepping in front of that receiver, man, taking a chance, jumping that route, phenomenal. And thank God he did because I really do feel like that sealed the victory for the Falcons. But also, let's talk about the block punt. We got Jamie Robinson. I don't know that I've ever said his name, but he blocked the punt. And you could make the argument that we really don't score a touchdown without him doing that carry. So that's an impact. Of course, Xavier Watts had a fumble recovery today. And, as stated earlier, JPJ gets 2 sacks back to back, Carey. And you know what else I noticed, Carey? Falcons didn't blitz a lot today. They
Yeah.
got there with 4,
I
which
know
is a good thing.
JPJ. Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if you got a chance to watch JPJ's interview after the game, but he mentioned that, in the beginning of the season, they had to blitz a lot, but as the season went on, the goal was to only have to rush 4. And he said,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what we were able to do. So, yeah, that's a great point.
yeah. No, I mean it's phenomenal. Caden J. Willis says, "Let's go. We beat the Saints."
I mean, we swept them for the first time since 2016.
Hey man,
Love
hey,
it.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let's go Falcons. Hey, let's go Falcons.
Hey,
We
T.
swept
Will,
them. What's up?
they found a way to win today.
They,
I'm not even kidding. Raheem really said that after the game. He
it's
really said they
find a
found a
way,
way to win.
man.
He really
It's
said,
find a way, man.
he said they
My
found a
name
way
is
to win.
Raheem Morris, and damn it, we found a way to win. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's find a way, man. Hey, man, I'm not giving Raheem grief today. Raheem, do your thing, man. Do your thing. John Marino says, Happy New Year, guys, but ATL played for pride, pride, pride. Then to the defense. When I wake up tomorrow, I hope Morris is fired.
I,
Fired.
yeah, I mean, to your point,
John.
John, yeah, to your point, John, I feel like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. We've seen Raheem, what him as a head coach, as a leader of the men. I feel like we've seen enough in 2 years, 2 seasons, 2 full seasons, how that's gone. And I just feel like this was a very winnable division, not just last year, but this year as well. And honestly, and this isn't just me being biased, I mean, 6-3 last year, then this year, you literally could have just won one more game and you win the division. I just feel like you should have won the division 2 years in a row. At worst, won it one of the 2 years. And you really just fumbled. Um, and I truly believe that's on coaching. I mean, you any way you spin it, whether it be like the terrible coordinators, last year with the DC, this year with the OC and the special teams, not going into the season with the kicker you can rely upon,
Mm,
and that was Raheem because the emotional bank with Koo, because now you got Zane who's, Mr. Reliable. And we lost, I believe, 2 games this season because of the kicker.
Mr.
So
Reliable.
yeah, so for me, it's like you win one more game, and it sucks to even think about because you win one more game in this division where the team that won the division had a losing record. All you got to do is either beat the Jets or beat the Dolphins at home. Like, come on, or even split the Panthers. One of those 3 games or one of those 4 games you win, you're in. Like, it's very frustrating for me as a fan, as I'm sure most fans to feel the same way. And for me, Raheem's decision making over these last 2 seasons, as well as his record as a head coach, both with the Falcons and, prior, I just feel like it's very telling in my opinion. But I am leaning towards they're going to keep him. So I've kind of honestly accepted that, T Will, and you better just, switch the coordinators at very least if you're going to decide to keep Raheem.
Amen.
But
Amen.
but I do want to make a point that people are saying, Raheem's seat, yes, was warm, but they're, basically going 4-0 to end the season is going to help him keep his job because they ended the season on a winning streak. But my thing is like, you went two back to back two losing seasons under him as a head coach, and both seasons in the middle of the year you just completely blew it. What was that last
True.
season after 6-3, 5-game losing streak? And I
Yep.
think we had what, a 4-game losing streak in the middle of this one. I could be wrong on this season's, but
Hmm.
last year was 5. So in the middle of the season, in the bread and butter of the season, you just completely blow it. And like I said, you win one more game, you're in the playoffs, you win the division. So for me, going 4-0 to end the season when the season isn't even on the line anymore should be irrelevant in my opinion. That should outweigh a 4-game win streak. These the two seasons as a whole, going 2-6 and then 1-7 in the middle of the season. I think that's just not okay. But what do you think about that?
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, again, if you'd have dealt with the kicker situation, we probably win that game, the first game, or we at least get it to OT, right? So
You're
that
right.
one hurt. The fact that you went with two rookie coordinators for your vanity, which is the only thing I can say. And I mean, I don't know Raheem personally. That may have not been the reason, but it just seems like I want to do this for my legacy, dude. You need to win. You need to create a legacy. The way you create a legacy is through winning. And I don't like the fact that you started with two rookie coordinators when nobody else in the world would do that. Okay. I mean, I could see if you had one on offense or one on defense. I don't know very many people that would start with two rookie coordinators. It's ridiculous. So I agree with you. I think it's just I think this year was not managed well because I think the Falcons should have won at least 10 or 11 games. Could have. It was there. And through vapid, hollow preparation, lack thereof, through poor decision making, through personnel again with coup, and not having the kicking competition when you should, not being. I mean, I could go on and on. I'm not going to do that. This isn't the time for that.
Right.
I agree. I think that Arthur's going to do what Arthur's going to do, and with Penix getting hurt, it is the perfect excuse to
Mm.
bring Raheem back, and it is what it is. And I don't want to dwell on it, but let's get into the numbers, Carrie. And first, we got to do some housekeeping. Jay Black says, Carrie, I believe that today's play calling by Zach, along with the past 3 games, doesn't save his job.
I
Agreed.
mean, yeah, to that point, Jay Black, and hope you're doing well, my friend. I agree. The offensive play calling, in the very least, like you got to get a new OC. It's just malpractice, in my opinion.
Yeah,
The red zone efficiency is still terrible. The points per game is still not good enough. I mean, with all these weapons, I'm still seeing tight end screenplays to Kyle Pitts. It's just, yeah, not good enough.
yeah, agreed. Silk Legacy says, Happy New Year, Carrie. Wallace
Happy New
says,
Year.
I think they're going to bring Raheem back after winning these 4 games down the stretch, but they will probably have him move on from OC and special teams coaches. I couldn't agree more. John Moreno says, if the Saints wouldn't have missed that field goal, it would have been a loss for us. Jay Black says, John Moreno, you are right. Silk says, Carrie, you said all of that and ended with they're going to keep him.
Yeah, because that's the Falcons' way. And like I said, in my opinion, you don't just look at the last 4 games. Oh, he ended on a win streak, meaningless games. Doesn't matter. You need to look at the whole body of work, the
Mm,
last 2 seasons. And I truly believe you look at the positives and the negatives, and in my opinion, there is just way too many negatives in my book. But yeah.
yeah, agreed. Agreed. Couldn't agree more. Let's get into these numbers. So, The Atlanta Falcons held the ball for 28 minutes, 41 seconds. New Orleans held it for 31 minutes, 19 seconds, pretty much even. Falcons were 4 of 14 on third down. Saints were 5 of 16, so not great there. On fourth down, Saints converted it 3 out of 3 times. Youch. Falcons converted it 1 out of 1. Total net yards. Falcons 208 net yards. That is not attractive.
Mm.
Total net yards for the Saints 340. If you're looking by the numbers, it looks like the Saints would have cleaned our clocks, but they didn't because they only scored 17 points. Thank God for that. Thank God he did miss that field goal. Shuck was 23 of 35 for 259 yards. Falcons were 18 of 32 for 180 yards. Ouch. Bijan Robinson ran for 33 yards on 15 carries. Ouch. Tyler Algier, 7 of 16, 7 carries for 16 yards. Kirk ran it 3 times for 0 yards. Ouch.
It was pretty bad. We also had 9 delay of game penalties this whole season.
Wow.
Last season we had 4. We had Did we have 1 or 2 delay of games today? I think the hurry up
I think we
offense, we
had
had the
two.
delay of
I,
game. I'm
I
like,
think we had
this is
two.
ridiculous. How do you get a delay of game on a hurry up offense? It's just like, oh my.
It's just crazy. While it says, isn't this Raheem's second year as head coach, right? It is. You are correct.
Yes.
Jay Black says, hit the like button. Yes, please hit the
Thank
like
you.
button. And John Moreno says, how many times was Kirk sacked? I think at least 2, maybe 3. But let's talk about Tyler Algier because this was his
Mm.
last game. Buying or selling, Carrie. This is the last time we see Tyler Algier as a Falcon. Are you buying or selling that one, Carrie?
Yeah, I'm buying. It's his last game.
Yeah, I'm buying that one too. I'm buying that one too. Jay Black says, I hate to say it, but I think Shuck is going to be a pain in the Falcons' backsides for the next coming of 5 years. Well, I mean, he could be, but to be honest, Jay Black, like this is our first time seeing him. The league hasn't adjusted to him. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, the young man played a good game. I'll give him that, but
I think he's lost to us before.
I think so. Yeah,
But
I
all
think
that to say, um, to your point, after the game, they interviewed Tyler Algier, and his quote was he was asked if that he would like to be back in Atlanta next season, and his exact quote was, "That is the plan," or "We'll see." I mean, I don't know. It's my first time being a free agent, I guess. It should be very interesting. I think I always had in my eyes on being the starter, but we had Bijan come in. I'm like, "Oh man, yeah, he definitely wants to start somewhere." So, and
definitely.
that
And
that
yeah,
to me says, yeah, goodbye essentially.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
if I
he's
could hear
he's
bye.
out. He
Yeah.
is, and good for him. Look at he. I think he can go somewhere else and start and be 1,000 yard back and be very productive. And hey, man, if that's what you want to do, we are happy for you, Tyler. Let me first and foremost, Tyler. I've enjoyed your time here. We're definitely gonna miss you, and happy trails, my friend. Happy trails to you. Let me ask you another question, Carrie. Is this the last time that we see Mr. Kyle Pitts, KP number 8,
Oh.
don a Falcons jersey, or are we going to franchise tag him? In other words, is Kyle back next year, in your humble opinion?
That one I'm really not sure about, T Will. If you would have asked me prior to Thursday night football in Tampa Bay, I would probably say I'm selling. We're not keeping him. He's definitely gonna be starting somewhere else in 2026. But I think after the season he's had, only Falcons tight end to record multiple seasons of 900 plus receiving yards all time. He had a good season this year, I'm not gonna lie. So for me, I think there's a chance that they are going to tag him and pay I believe, $15 million. But it's really gonna all come down to, in my opinion, what happens with Kirk. In the quarterback position, I don't see Kirk playing for the Falcons in 2026, really, because of the cap hit. But we got to make some money somewhere, and So I don't know. I don't think that Kyle is gonna be the priority. In my opinion, the priority is pay Drake London, wide receiver one, and then after that would be Caden Ellis, and then Kyle Pitts.
Okay. That's interesting. Jay Black agrees with you. He says Pitts is franchise tagged. He also says, "We will miss you, Tyler." Wallace Smith says, "I'm not buying that if Algier wasn't to come back, if he can't get an offer to be another team starter." I mean, yeah, if he couldn't be a starter, I'm sure he would come back. But I feel like he's definitely going to be a starter. Like,
I think he definitely can get the opportunity to be a
yeah,
starter.
yeah. John Moreno says, "I think Pitts is going to the Chiefs." What?
I mean,
Oh, wow.
Kelsey retiring, there's a possibility. It just depends on what happens. This is gonna be an interesting offseason. I think they'll want to tag him. But I think it really comes down to the money. What happens for, we don't have a lot of cap space thanks to that Kirk Cousins contract. So it's gonna be real interesting to see what happens in the off season and who comes, who goes, who stays.
Mm, okay. All right. That
But
is fair. That is definitely fair, man. So let's talk about, you know, T Terry 310 says, "Happy New Year's, Terry Carey. Happy New Year's, T Terry. How you doing, buddy?" Carey, let me ask you this. Michael Penix probably out at least half the year next year. Probably going to have a new offensive coordinator, new special teams coach. Not sure if Kirk is going to be our quarterback. I feel like if you were going to make a playoff run, these last 2 years would have been the year because we faced some special challenges this year. To your point, we need to find out what we're going to do with Kyle. We need to work out. I mean, we can't pay Kirk $40 million, so we either need to adjust his contract or move on. And then, Caden Ellis is a free agent. Tyler Algier is a free agent. Kyle Pitts is a free agent. So we have some things that we need to address. I don't know that this same team will be back next year. Also, we got to address receiver. Like, no disrespect to Mooney. Mooney was great last year, Mooney this year, and I think he was hurt most of the year, but Mooney just isn't Mooneying this year. That's right. I made his name a verb. Uh, guys, or Carey specifically, we seem to be right now a franchise in flux. Where do we go from here, Carey? Where do we go from here? Like, what are your thoughts on what do we need to do to come back next year and solidify ourselves as a playoff team?
I mean, that's a loaded question, T. Will,
It is.
but it really
It is.
starts. It
It's not fair.
really. I
I
mean,
set you up.
I mean, but to be honest, it really depends on what happens. In my opinion, what happens with Terry Fontenot. If the rumor is that he's gonna be possibly let go and they're gonna keep Raheem. If that's the case, I don't know. Things could be shook up. You bring in a new GM in here, so maybe some players he won't want to keep or he want to bring he make changes, right? So it's gonna be really tough, because the Falcons again finished with another losing record. So that's a loaded question, but in my opinion, I believe we have the talent. I think this season and last season, like I mentioned earlier in the show, we could have made the playoffs both these seasons, but we didn't, in my opinion, because of coaching.
Agreed.
Coaching decisions, coaching, malpractice, honestly, in a lot of
Hmm.
situations, whether
Yeah.
that has to do with injuries, calling timeouts, kicker situation, quarterback situation, coordinators, this, that, and the third. So, I don't like to use injuries as an excuse because every team has injuries for one, and for two, using the Penix injury as is just a cop out in my opinion because you were so boastful about having the best backup in the league and you paid this man $100 million, so you should be able to win with the QB1 or the QB2.
That's
With that
true.
with
That's
that way
a
of
very good
thinking.
point.
So
That's that's a
I don't
very
want to hear it. If anything, I would say Divine Diablo was the bigger hit to lose. Honest, honestly, because he was so big for our defense. And as soon as he left, as soon as he went out with injury, is like when everything went downhill, we started losing.
agreed.
Um, but yeah, so I don't know. That's a loaded question, but in my opinion, I believe we have the talent. Yeah, we have some holes, but every team does. I think, like I mentioned, we only needed to win one more game. All you had to do was beat the, what did they finish as? Like the 3-14 Jets? You know, all you had to do is beat the Jets, okay? How embarrassing. And you couldn't beat the Jets. How embarrassing. You got embarrassed by the Dolphins at home.
Hmm. No,
So
I agree. I
so for
agree.
me, it's coaching, really. That's the main thing it comes down to because I do believe this team could compete. You saw that against, you know, Josh Allen led Buffalo Bills and the Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua Rams. Two really good teams in the league, playoff teams. We
Mm.
beat them. So for me, you beat good teams and you lose and get embarrassed to bad teams. To me, that's coaching. I mean, Bijan even said this season that, they overlooked the opponent when it came to the Panthers and losing 30-0. So to me, that's coaching, not having their guys ready no matter what. And I feel like that's why we had that losing stretch in the middle of the season. So, yeah, I just, to me, I really hope, regardless, whatever they decide in regards to Raheem's job, it's like, do not just look at, oh, finish the season 4-0. You
Mm.
gotta look at the whole 2 years as a
Hmm.
whole. The season isn't just 4 games,
Correct.
right?
I,
And
I I agree with you.
that's
I
just
think I I don't even think it was. I think Arthur was going to keep Raheem because Arthur just doesn't fire anybody. Mr. Blank, I should say. I don't know him personally, but I think Mr. Blank was going to keep him because he doesn't fire anybody before 3 years, and I think this is just an excuse to do that. Now, what's going to be a challenge, is going to be: can you sell Raheem to these Falcon season ticket holders come February? Because if you don't go out and get an offensive coordinator that evokes fear in the hearts of defensive coordinators, you don't go and get out a special teams coach that evokes fear, like Michael Vick walking into a pet store. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Oh, man up. You guys are going to have to man up if you want to get through this show. But I'm just saying, um, yeah, you're gonna it's gonna be a tough sell, right? I know we're all, well, he went on a 4 game win streak, but you have to make a playoff appearance next year. I think with the team that you have, you still have Bijan, you still have Drake. You got to make Drake a contract offer, by the way, but you still have Drake. If you're going to do that, right? If you're going to do that, then you better have a great offensive coordinator if you're going to keep Raheem. And if you're going to get rid of Terry, then you better have a really good GM, right? So a lot of things are in flux with the team because even if you keep him, there's nothing we can say now. But you know what, Kerry? Come February, some folks can do some things about it. They can let you know how they feel. You know, they can be
yeah.
like, paying for this. Yes, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And maybe it'll make a difference and maybe it won't. But I'm saying, to me, if you're going to keep Raheem, you better go and get a kick ass, and I mean kick ass, offensive coordinator who probably was a coach before. So if stuff doesn't work out in Raheem in this third year, you got to move on. Here's your interim coach right here.
I
You
agree.
got you gotta be able to do that, right? We got Atlanta Falcon Fandemic in the chat. Fandemic, how you doing, brother? If
Hi,
you guys don't
pandemic.
know this young man, you need to get to know him. Great content coordinator. Love his show, love his material. Again, another gentleman born in 1970, like myself. Carrie, it's something special about those dudes born in 1970. I don't know what it is, man, but you guys need to check him out, okay? Fandemic says too many weapons to settle for how we looked. Find another proven OC and you'll see the new offense, and that's true. And Kerry, let me ask you a question, and I need you to be honest, okay?
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're in it, right? When you're in it, it's kind of hard to see the forest for the trees. Does Kirk Cousins look like a $40 million quarterback to you?
No, not at all.
Not to me either. You
And
know,
I'm not being biased one way or the
me,
other, but
me
if you look
neither.
at the
Yeah,
stats,
agreed.
if you actually, before today's game, you look at the stats that he started versus Penix, their stats are actually almost identical, which to me, that's not good because not only is Kirk like what, a 14-year veteran, he's also a
Hmm.
$100 million quarterback. His stats
Hmm.
should look much better than Penix's.
They should.
I think we just have more wins because not only did we get Diablo back, who obviously was huge for our defense,
Yeah,
but we actually have a kicker we can rely upon.
yeah.
And we had a few easier games and down the stretch. So, I mean, early in the season, we have a kicker like Zane we could rely upon. Okay, yeah, we would have won two more games. But yeah, you compare their stats before today's game. I saw a chart that showed the comparison. They were actually almost identical as far as touchdowns, interceptions, passing yards, all that, which is wild. But yeah, I don't think so. No. No, that's my opinion. No. I feel like you could get the same level of play from a journeyman at this point and not be paying him what, $40 million next year.
Agreed. Agreed 100%. Carrie, I got another question for you. And it's a trivia question, and I'm gonna add it right now. Which Falcons player once set an NFL record with 14 receptions in a single game versus the Saints? And chat, that's for you as well. So if you know it, drop it in there. Let me know. But Carrie, this one's to you. Which Falcons player once set an NFL record with 14 receptions in a single game versus the Saints? Take a guess.
Okay, well, I feel okay. My first guess was Julio, but then I'm like, I feel like that's too obvious. So I don't think it
It
is
is.
Julio.
It is.
It
It
is
is. You're
Julio or
right.
not?
No, it's not. It is too
Okay,
obvious.
yeah. So I'm like, it's too obvious. So it's not Julio. Okay. So I'm like,
Okay.
who could it be? I'm trying to think. It's obviously a receiver, right? I doubt.
Just think Julio's friend. Who was Julio's homie on the Falcons? His boy, his Obi-Wan Kenobi, his sensei.
Roddy White? I don't know.
Yes, Roddy
Oh, okay.
White. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was
Okay, that
Roddy
makes sense.
White, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it to Carrie. She got it. All right. So, Carrie, since you did so good on that one, you know what you win, right? You win another trivia question.
Oh gosh,
Oh
okay.
God, T. Will, you monster! I can't believe you'd call me out like that in front of all these
I
people.
know.
I'm giving you a chance to shine, Gary.
Okay, I'm
Here
ready.
we go. All right. Who scored the game-winning touchdown for the Atlanta Falcons in the famous 1991 playoff win versus New Orleans? Wallace got it right. Wallace and John said Roddy White both.
I
Good
was like,
job,
wait, they
guys.
already answered this one? Oh my
No, no,
god.
no, 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 no. They got the previous one. This
Oh,
one's a different one. I don't
okay,
think Roddy
gosh.
was on that 91 team.
No, definitely not.
This
Okay.
was a different one.
Sorry, I didn't see the chat yet. Okay.
So for all,
I'm
for
gonna
all
need
you
you guys'
old heads
help.
out
No,
there,
I was gonna say, Wallace, John, somebody help me out here because
you
I'm not gonna
Carrie is gonna use the phone a friend
phone a
option, guys.
friend, please.
Carrie's
This was
got a phone
before
a
my
friend.
time.
So
before
if
my
you're out
time.
there and you know the answer, drop it in the chat. I'll say it again. Who scored the game-winning touchdown for Atlanta in the famous 1991 playoff versus New Orleans? Who did that, guys? Need to know, need to know, need to know. Who did it? I don't know. I might have stumped him with that one, Carrie.
Someone
Ah,
help me.
John Moreno says in 1999, Carrie wasn't born. Well, this is 1991, so she really wasn't born. She really wasn't born in this one. You're right, John.
That's
Yeah,
why
then
I
he
need your
corrected
help,
himself.
John, please.
Then he corrected himself since 1991. Yeah, guys. So again, who scored the game-winning touchdown for Atlanta in the famous 1991 playoff win versus New Orleans? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. His first name is the same as two great or one great Hall of Fame quarterback and another up and comer. Avis Murray says, rising. Hey Avis, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you, man. But it's not Andre Rison, but you're close. You're close. They were on the same team, Avis. You're close. So think of the opposite receiver and you got it. Think of the opposite receiver, Avis, and you got it. Think of the opposite receiver and you got it. This is a good one, guys. This is a good one. When I say this one, you guys are going to be like, really? Really, T. Will? Really? Who scored the game winning touchdown for Atlanta in the famous 1991 playoff win versus New Orleans? Good guess, John Moreno, but no. Good guess. Because I think there was a pickoff. I think Dion did pick it off. But I don't know that that was the game winning touchdown. I'll give you a hint. It was a receiver. It was a receiver on the opposite side of Andre Rison. So think of that 91 team, those of you old heads like me, okay? Those of y'all got gray in your beard if you don't dye it, if you're not doing the hair dye. If you're no, it wasn't Mathis. Oh man, you guys are close. Was Mathis on that 91? I don't think he was. No, it wasn't Mathis. It wasn't Mathis. You guys are so close. His first name is Michael, guys. First name is Michael. First name of this receiver is Michael. No, it wasn't Terry Matthews. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. It was Michael Haynes, guys. It was Michael Haynes. It was Michael Haynes. Michael Haynes, Michael Haynes, Michael Haynes. Yes, pandemic. It was Michael Haynes. Michael Haynes. D. Mitch, Michael Jenkins was just a little bit later. So it's okay. We still love you, buddy. Michael Jenkins was just a little bit later. I think Michael Jenkins played with Matt Ryan. So that was a little before Matty Ice's time, but that is okay. We are talking Falcons today, man. This was definitely a defensive battle between two, very good defensive teams. I hate to say it, but the Saints have a pretty good defense. Their offense sucks, but their defense was pretty good. So I got to give it to them. Definitely a defensive battle, Carrie. Defense really came to play. They kept us in this thing. And if we can keep that going forward, I think we're going to be okay. Carrie, what stands out to you about this Falcons defense?
I mean, for sure the four rookies, right? Um,
Yeah.
that for me, that's the main thing that stands out, like how great that draft was defensively.
Hmm.
We finally focused on the defense and Terry hit it out of the ballpark. So definitely that. And number one and number two, I would say the pass rush. I mean, how can you not mention the pass rush when we just broke the franchise record for sacks in a
Yes, we
season?
did.
And
Yes, we
not
did.
just that, but what a turnaround after how bad the Jimmy Lake defense looked last year. It's the difference is night and day. It's actually crazy. Um, it's just, man, I'm just still so disappointed. I know I got to temper my expectations for next season, guys. I'm always going to support my team, but man, it's going to be hard because I was so excited about this season and My goodness, we have another losing season with no playoffs yet again, and all we gotta do is win one more game. Beat the Jets and win and you're in. It's just sick. So I'm gonna try a little bit to not have so high of expectations next season, and hopefully you guys don't judge me that I'm not trying to. I'm gonna root for my team, T. Will, but I'm just not gonna be thinking like expecting we're gonna be playoff bound, if that makes sense. Because I
Carrie,
expected we were playoff bound this
Carrie, you
season.
have the right to feel how you feel, ma'am, and you go ahead and protect your peace. So whatever you need to do, my friend,
Right.
it's what you need
Thank
to do.
you. I
I'm not
appreciate
mad at it. It is what it is, and hey, man, I get it. I mean, you have to do what you have to do, and that's okay. You know, and I mean, I don't know what to expect for next year. I really don't, because again, we don't even know 100% that Raheem is going to be here. We think we know, but we don't know. I mean, we could
Okay,
find out tomorrow. You know what
true.
I mean?
To your point, T. Will, I didn't mention this earlier, but after the game, a lot of the players did post-game interviews.
Hmm.
For example, Drake London, Jesse Bates, and I believe Bijan, and they all were like going to bat for Raheem. And I'm sure I know our front office cares a lot about what fans and players think.
Hmm.
So, for example, Drake London said, "Heck yeah, I'd love to see Rob back for sure." Um, and I don't have the exact quotes up, but they basically were like really loving Raheem, like speaking very highly of him. So I do think that Raheem is going to be back. And like you mentioned, coordinator changes. But for me, T. Will, it just feels like we wasted 2 years essentially of fans' time and players' time. Because, like I said, I feel like we have the talent and had the talent last year, have the talent this year to make the playoffs, win the division. But coaching held us back. Clearly last season the DC held us back, right? And then we replaced him, and look at the difference. So this year it's now the OC and the special teams coordinator. But if you really think about it, who was the one who picked all of them?
Hmm.
So for
And
me,
I mean,
it just
Raheem
sucks,
Morris.
man. It just sucks. It feels like we wasted 2 seasons of time. But 2 seasons that we should have went to the playoffs. And I don't know if you had a chance to look at our opponents next year, but it's not an easy schedule to be honest. So which then again, maybe that means we will be playoff bound because for some reason we play well against tough teams and play bad against bad teams. So maybe we do
Okay.
have a chance after all, actually.
I mean, we'll see. John Moreno says, I heard London and Morris had words before the game. Falcon News posted. Oh, wow. Carrie, I got a question for you. Which is worse? Or which would have been worse? Okay. Losing to the Saints or helping the Panthers win the division. And for those of you in the chats, if losing to the Saints is worse, drop a one. If helping those pity pat kitty cats get into the playoffs is worse to you, drop a two. Losing to the Saints, drop a one. Helping the pity pat kitty cats get into the playoffs, drop a two. Carrie, give me your thoughts.
I was really hoping there was a scenario where we could win today versus the Aints because I always want to sweep the Aints. I mean,
Of
hello.
course.
We finally
Of
did it
course.
for the first time since 2016. Um, and I obviously always want to win, right? So I'm going to pick that one. But on the other side of the coin, it's like I really didn't want somebody like the Panthers to win the division. I honestly would have rather the Bucks win because they've already been winning the division, right? And if somebody new was going to win the division this year, I wanted it to be us. I didn't want the Panthers to win the division for the first time in 10 years. I wanted that to be us. So, not just that, but I don't know if you ever experienced it, but the Panthers, some of the Panthers fans on social media can be
Obnoxious.
real, yeah, obnoxious because of 30-0 and last season how that final game went and how they swept us this year. Yeah, they can be rough, but to be honest, Bucks fans for the most part, they could be obnoxious with how they've dominated the division the last 4 years, but they haven't, and they won a Super Bowl, but they haven't. So Yeah, for me, I was hoping there was a scenario where I could have my cake and eat it too, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I'm gonna have to pick one.
Mm, okay. John Moreno picked one with you. He agreed. Nerd King, what up, Nerd King? I'm not worried about next year's games, honestly, because the season proves there isn't any dominant teams. And he's right. Falcon Pandemic says London also had it out with TJ Yates on the sideline. The drama with this team has to go next season.
I
That's me
agree with
saying
you.
agree 100%.
Yes,
But
I did
losing,
not like the drama this season at all.
yeah, but losing breeds drama. You know what I mean? Wallace says, and I did say, what up, Nerd King? Wallace says won and didn't want to help the Panthers out either. So, Carrie, give me your player of the game for this game.
My player of the game is gonna have to be James Pierce Jr., honestly.
JPJ, baby.
First
JPJ.
first rookie pass rusher to have 10.5 sacks since Micah Parsons in 2021. Um, and yeah, his sack helped us break the record. He had back-to-back sacks, 2 sacks today. Um, yeah, and that helped us break the franchise record. So I'm gonna have to go with JPJ for sure.
Well, hey, you're not wrong with that, but I tell you who I'm going with. I'm going. T. Willer's going with.
Don't say Felipe Franks.
I'm not going to say Felipe Franks. You just ruined my moment. I'm not going to say Felipe Franks. It's got to be D. Alford, Carey. First and foremost, D. Alford contributed to a sack. And then, Carey, when the game was on the line, when the chips were down, when doubt was running amok inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium and in this very room where I'm sitting, D. Alford said, not today, boys. Not today. You guys hop on my back, and we're going to 8 and 9, buddy. Let's go. Stepped in front of that receiver, snatched that ball out of the air, ran 30 yards, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, in my humble opinion, D. Alford is the player of the game. Everybody in the chat, give me your thoughts on who you guys think was the player of the game. Let us know. Nerd King says, I didn't see, but they gave James Pierce his flowers. I know I saw them do it for Chase Young. Oh, I didn't see them give James Pierce his flowers. They probably didn't because he's a rookie. Pandemic says, I hope the naysayers about Fontenot trading up to nab JPJ. Yes, Pandemic. Now, see, it was well worth the trade. We won the deal. We did. We did win the deal. And Carrie, you know what else? You know how I feel about it, right? Carrie, F those picks. Okay? F those picks. All right. John Moreno says, here's something. There's a 3-way tie in the South Division, not making the playoffs. Our coaches suck.
I mean, I
He told
can't
me.
I can't argue with him because
Yeah, me neither.
wow, the three-way tie for all losing seasons
All 8 and 9.
and all 8 and 9. Somebody who with the losing record made the playoffs and
You take it. No,
just
you take
beat
it.
the
No, you take
Jets.
it.
He will just beat the Jets or the Dolphins at home, and
Just
you're
beat
in.
the Jets. Can you believe our season came down to the fact that we couldn't beat the Jets or the
That's
Dolphins? Jesus,
embarrassing.
man.
That's just a
Oh
fireable
God.
fence in itself, honestly.
Oh God. That just sucks big old, yeah, donkey hooters. Anyway, Wallace Smith says it had to be either Alford or Pierce. Agreed, my friend. Agreed. Vernon J8379 says Saints fan here. Welcome to the Couch Falcons. Who that? We taking back the NFC South. Vernon,
What?
Vernon, let me tell you something, man. Hey, first and foremost, welcome to the chat, brother. All fans are welcome. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Like, we swept you guys this year. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, you know what? We both sucked this year, Vernon. I can admit that. I'm man enough to admit that. But we sucked in third place. You guys sucked bringing up the rear, right? So if it's laundry day, Vernon, you're doing the Panthers laundry, you're doing the Bucks laundry, and then you're doing the Falcons laundry, and then you're doing yours in that order. But hey, buddy, hey man, welcome to the Falcon. Welcome to I'm sorry, for my ATL Sports One. We're glad to have you. This is a Falcons chat, but like I say, all fans are welcome. And hey, man, it's good to see you anyway, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
as
You
long as
know,
go ahead.
well, speaking of Aints fans, it's so funny. I had an Aints fan um, today, actually, after the game. I put a tweet out there. I said, yeah, we might have fumbled the easiest division of football, but at least we swept the Aints for the first time since
We
2016.
did, we did.
And I
But
had an Aints fan reply to me, and she said, y'all fumbled that first round pick too, laughing emoji.
no, we did
And
not.
I'm like, sometimes I just, T-Will, you've given me great advice in this regard. I normally just ignore it, but I just like I didn't get mad. I thought it was funny. Like, is she serious? Or like
Yeah,
somebody said she doesn't even know what fumble means. Like,
exactly.
like,
Sometimes you just
is
gotta
she
be like,
serious? Like, did you watch the game today? Because he sacked your quarterback twice.
yes. And he's
And
got like 10 and a half of them. And sometimes
I
you just
just
gotta be like Diana Ross, touch me in the morning and walk away. That's an old song. That's an old song.
Like, I could not believe that. I'm like, is she a troll? Does she just not know
Maybe.
football? Like, I
Maybe
was
so.
blown away. She really said we fumbled our first round pick,
She
James
did.
Pierce
She
Jr.
did.
I'm like, this is not real.
She
But
she did. She did. Vernon, I tell you what though, Falcons and Saints will be watching the playoffs at Applebee's. So hey, bud, if you're up here, if you're ever out here in Atlanta, man, hey man, hit me up. I'll come have a beer with you, and that goes for any fans in the chat. You guys living in the Atlanta area, hit me up, man. We'll have a beer. We'll sit down. We'll chop it up. Again, Vernon, hey man, thanks for joining the show. We appreciate you. Pandemic says, I like the kid Shuck for the Saints as QB, but they are still another whole season away. Wallace says this is the second time that a team of the division makes the playoffs with a losing record, in which the Panthers did it with a 7-9 record back in the day. Well, hey, man, all good, all good, all good. Enjoyed it. Carrie, unfortunately, I got to go make the world safe for wireless customers everywhere. So we are going to have to cut this short. But the good news is Carrie and I will be back either next week or week after or whenever. And we'll
definitely,
do an end of the season summary show on just this season, the highs and lows and everything that happened in between. And it'll be pretty cool. We got the Nerd King says 10 and a half sacks later, and we fumbled it
I
exactly,
know.
Nerd King.
That's
I
why
mean, this guy's probably the rookie of the year. He's got
right.
the most sacks by a rookie. Like,
I
get
mean,
out of here, man.
Nerd King, to your point, I normally, like I said, I've been better about not replying to trolls, but I had to reply because I'm like, you can't be serious. Like, I
Yeah,
literally laughed out loud. Like,
that's funny. No, that's just sad, right? That's just sad. Uh let's see. John Moreno says, guys, who's going to be Falcons QB next year? John, we will cover that in that show because that is a very interesting question. And right now I don't have an answer for you. The choice could be other losing season again, and it could be, and you're 100% right. Jay Black says, good show, T. Will and Carrie. Jay Black, we appreciate you, man.
thank
Thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much.
Wallace Smith, great show. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. To everybody who joined us in the show, we appreciate you. Everybody who joined us in the chat. Nerd King says, nah, don't reply to that BS, Carrie. You're better than that. And
I
damn it, Carrie, you are better than that.
Thank
As a
you,
matter
Nerd
of fact,
King. Thank you.
yeah,
T
that's
Will
right.
tells me all the time not to reply to trolls, and I've gotten so much better. In the beginning, I used to reply. They caught me in a bad time, but I've gotten so much better. I just scroll on by. But this one, it wasn't that I was like bothered by it. I was like, is she serious? Like the game just ended, and he just sacked your quarterback twice and helped break the franchise record for most sacks in a season. Like, you can't be serious. Like, I was almost like, is this a joke? Like, I laughed, so
Is this
I
thing
did
on?
reply.
Is this a joke?
Right.
Hello?
That's
Is
why I
this
had to
thing on?
reply. I'm
Are
like,
we
are you for
serious?
real?
Are
Like,
we serious
I
right now?
literally said that you can't actually be serious, are you?
Are
And then
you
that's,
serious?
yeah.
For real? Carrie, tell these people where they can find you, but don't give them your address, because we got that one guy
Oh
that was in
gosh.
that show that time. But yeah, tell them where they can find you.
Well, thank you guys all for joining us. This has been fun. I hope everyone had a, blessed Christmas and a happy new year. Hoping this year will be better for our Atlanta Falcons. I know I probably said that last year, the year before, but I think this I think this year might be different. At least I'm hoping so.
We sound like
But
cowboy fans. We either
right?
we either
Hello.
we either sound like cowboy fans or abused wives. Like we've got to stand by her, man, Jerry.
That's me, right?
We've,
Uh,
we've got to stand by. I've got to stand by her. She stays out late nights. She cheats on me. She takes all
no,
my money, but I got to stand by my woman. I got to
please.
do it
Yeah, but no,
anyway.
I appreciate you all for joining us. And now that the holidays have kind of come and gone, we'll be, back to regular scheduled programming again. So with the Terry and Carrie show. So yeah, I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a great night. And you can find me on Twitter at Carrie Lynn XOX. And obviously Terry and Carrie Show. And then you can find me on One Time for a Fan whenever Jack isn't busy taking L's. The Falcons swept the Aints this season. And if you didn't know, Carrie also swept our friend Jack Spade in our
Oh,
fantasy
ouch,
football league.
ouch,
Well,
Carrie.
went 0 for 2.
Oh, that is just
So
not nice, Carrie. Oh wow, he's gonna get you
happy
for
on
that
that.
one, my friend. Oh, he is gonna get you for that. Oh, I can
But
hear it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end this while I'm behind. All right, to everybody
good
who
night,
joined
everyone.
us in this show, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Carrie, this has been a great Falcons season once again. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Scott Karasic like Jurassic. Sorry about that. If you're out there, buddy, really appreciate you and everything that you did to help me this year. Shout out to Debo Vibes. I know we had a show and due to some scheduling on my end, we kind of had to cut that one short, but definitely want to thank you. Shout out to the Beard Gang. We did have a show way back then in early 2025. Want to thank you guys. Appreciate you. Definitely want to shout out Mr. Jack Spade, my mentor and podcast buddy on One Time for the Fan. Gotta thank you. Gotta thank Mr. Big Low. Gotta thank Mr. Chris A1. Gotta thank Mr. Uncle Steve. I got to thank Mr. Eric Parker, who is not a podcaster, but is responsible for giving my chance in this business. And Carrie, I hope I didn't forget anybody, but if I did, charge it to my head, not my heart. To everybody who joined us in the chat again, thank you guys. Hopefully you guys will have a great 2026. Appreciate you guys. Want to thank God for waking me up this morning and everything he's done. And you guys have an amazing day. Go Falcons, everybody. Good night.
ATL. Through the highs and the heartbreaks, we still stand. Dirty birds forever. Let's get it. Year after year, we've been riding through the storm. Red and black in my veins, that loyalty was swung. We don't fold, we don't run, even when the pain hits. Cause every loss just reminds us what greatness is. We show up cold nights or the Georgia sun. Cause every Sunday we believe that our time gon' come. We ain't perfect, but we faithful and we never switch. We the city of the A, yeah, we built for this. We don't need pretty words, just heart on the field we deserve. Put the work in, earn that glory. Bring our city back to the story. We'll ride till the wheels fall off. We ain't never gonna break. Win or lose, we stand tall for the A. You can doubt us, talk loud, but we still hold steady. Cause we here and we faithful and we always ready. It's the dirty, prove the dirty. If you bout it, then prove the dirty. We'll believe when you're fighting for the city.